Brian Jones, and here we in Raleigh at Ravenscroft High School with Craig Dawson. Craig, it's good to see you, man. You're back in North Carolina where the good food is at, not a VA. No, I'm messing.
Happy to be back.
So, tell me, what was your decision? You decided to come. You was at Woodbury for 14 years before we get into your accolades of your homegrown North Carolina made and bred. So tell me about the 14 years and how did it prepare you to be in here?
Well, it was great, man. It wasn't anything wrong or anything bad that happened. It was just time. As I kind of told you before, 14 great years at Woodbury. Learned a lot about myself, learned a lot about people. And then this opportunity presented itself. Being able to come back to North Carolina, it was kind of a no-brainer for me.
So with that being said, I liked it because the thing that you did this summer that was pretty cool. Raw thoughts. This is my thoughts, not Craig thoughts, my thoughts. So don't put this on here, all on me. I seen the situation happening at NC State. They had camps, they had signs, yard signs. He took off the LSU, whatever reason, whatever it is. It was kind of cool for you to still fulfill that mission, at Woodbury, to still have that camp and still do it, even though you still moved on to your next journey. Mm-hmm. That gave me a lot. And how did that play a part? Did you think anything, did anybody say anything? Was it hey, you done had to do this, or was that was your morals for it?
No, it was just me, man. I felt like I owed it to the school, owed it to the kids. There were a bunch of them, 116 of them. I couldn't tell them that I wasn't going to be there. We've had a lot of fun with that. I think I enjoy it more than they do. So I just felt it was right to finish what we started. So it was a must for me to do that.
So now you're at Ravenscroft. You played at Kinston, got in the Hall of Fame in Kinston. Homegrown for Kinston, played at Wake Forest. Was a dynamic shooter, you was Steph Curry before Steph Curry, I know I want to put that pressure on you.
That's some high praise there, yeah.
But so tell me your journey in Kinston growing up to get into Wake Forest.
Basketball is everything in Kinston. So from the time I was little, going to the high school games, I dreamt of playing at Kinston High School before I dreamt of playing in college.
Oh, so, wow.
Everything shuts down on Tuesday and Friday nights because everybody goes to the game. So I wanted to play in front of all of those people. And, having that thought, it was just I'm going to do everything possible to make sure when my time is up there that I'm going to be remembered. So that was huge for me. But I still remember running out of that tunnel the first time. And still gives me chills a little bit. Playing in the Dean Dome, all that stuff is cool. But being able to play in Viking Gym is like no other.
Man, so I want to ask you this question, the curiosity of that, going to Wake Forest, what was the decision in that before I go into my next question? It's a rebuttal off of this.
Yeah. So Wake wasn't even on my list until the last month of recruiting.
Wow.
So everybody just assumed I was going to Carolina. So a lot of schools didn't want to have conversation. I was down to 5. It was actually Carolina, Kentucky, Villanova, Florida State, and Seton Hall. And Seton Hall, because Tommy Amaker was the head coach there at the time. I got my first ever recruiting letter from Duke. Even though I can't stand Duke. I do. I love Coach Amaker. He was just a genuine great guy. So I took him my first official visit to Seton Hall, and he said to me as soon as I got there, "I know you're not coming here, but I appreciate you coming." But I think I owed that to him for being one of the first ones in the mix. So Wake kind of fit the bill for everything. Carolina would have had Dean Smith not retired, but Coach Guthridge told me that he knew he wouldn't be there the entire time that I would be there. Wake was graduating 3 guards, had 2 AAU teammates that were already committed and going. Wonderful school, opportunity to play right away. Playing in the ACC, that was my dream. Kentucky had just won a national championship, and that didn't mean a thing to me because I didn't grow up an SEC fan. I grew up watching Jefferson Pilot and Raycom on Saturday morning, so that was always my dream.
You took me back. I had to remember that. Yeah,
right. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't remember that, but the opportunity to get a great education too once that ball stopped bouncing was very important, and I have to thank my parents for that one.
So my question is now, after the ball stopped bouncing, what led you to say, look, instead of being a teacher, going to another career, possibly being a basketball analyst, what led you to say, hey, I want to coach?
It wasn't me. It was people kind of seeking me out at first. sixth grade group needed a AAU basketball coach, and so I decided to do it and immediately fell in love with it. And then after that, they asked me to come and work at Forsyth Country Day School. I coached the 8th grade team.
Oof.
Then did 4 years of JV, did varsity girls for a year, varsity boys for 2 years after that, and I was hooked well before that. It was probably like 2 practices in, I was like, this is, I think, is what my next career should be. So I enjoyed it very, very much.
So as in coaching, like if you was a guy that's like telling someone to get into coaching, what would be your advice to them? Because I know you had some good days, some bad days, some horrible days, and some amazing days. But like, what was like the process and like the patience of coaching?
Well, the patience is they should be prepared to either go bald or go gray. I've done both. I've done both at this point, but it's rewarding trying to get individuals to come together as a group, as a team. That's the biggest thing, and be a part of something bigger than themselves. Like, we all individually have great careers and what have you, but when you go back and hang out with your boys, nobody talks about how many points anybody scored or anything like that. It's what you remember being together. So getting them to see the big picture is the goal. It's not always easy, but you continue to hammer it home and hope they get it either now or later in their life.
So you as a coach, you coach multiple D1 players, like seeing those guys instantly, what was it like saying like, hey, these guys have it?
Yeah, you kind of knew right away. Like even one of them that I had, he had no aspiration whatsoever even playing college basketball.
Wow.
And I told him after his first year at Woodbury that I thought it was possible. And he ended up playing at Princeton and then got a call from John Shire while he was writing his thesis.
At what school?
At Princeton.
And the other school?
And then Duke. So yeah. And then had no aspiration to play whatsoever, but you know, the connections that he made along the way I think matter more than how many minutes or anything else that he played. So, but you know, they just have a different aura around them. They have a different mentality than most, and no matter what you tell them, they just keep trying to get better. So, love to coach those folks.
All right, so my next thing is like as a coach, like coaching strategy and stuff like this, does philosophy matter when it comes to coaching? Because everybody has a different strategy, different X's and O's, different offense.
There are different ways to win. I mean, you look, nobody enjoyed it, but look at UVA a few years ago. They played slow, very methodical and whatnot.
It is stacked 1-3-1, or I forgot the defense is
the
stacked.
pack line.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Correct.
Some people would rather watch paint dry than watch them play basketball, but they won a national championship doing it. And then you're looking at like the Rick Pitino teams at Kentucky back in the day, they're full court pressing the entire time.
Yeah.
So there are multiple ways of winning, but I think it's not how you play, but what you can actually sell to the kids and what you believe. So if they know you believe in it and then they buy into it, I think anything is possible.
So this is where I go at. It's what my raw thoughts is, not his again. The bar. What are the expectations for you and being the head coach at Ravenscroft?
To win. And then there's no pressure from anyone else but myself. But you know, that can mean a lot of different things, not only on the scoreboard, games and stuff like that, but for these guys to feel like they're a part of this program and this school when they leave here, want to come back here. Guys who are developing to be great young men and all of that, that's winning too. So all of it is included. Again, I see big picture. My parents have always made me kind of look at it and see it that way. So I understand that it's so much more than winning conference and state championships, although we want to do those things, but we want to make sure those kids feel like they were a part of something.
All right, so before we get off, long story short, I don't want to keep it here too long because he got to give his kids babies and meet all the rest of the employees here at Ravenscroft. What is something that I didn't ask you that you would like to discuss? The floor is yours.
Oh, man, that's tough. I don't know. You've been doing this a long time, and you're from Eastern North Carolina. There's a lot of debate where the best players come from.
Correct.
So I want to hear from you where you think the best players in this state come from.
Eastern North Carolina for me, no question. You have a lot of players that are everywhere in the area, but when I did a podcast recently the other day, and the guy was breaking down the legends and respect, and like even though he's much younger than me, he was saying he was paying respect to Jerry Stackhouse and Phil Ford and Bud Williams and all these players like that. So I think that then I also look at your resume, and I think the issue is, honestly, a lot of people like to research what they want to research, but they don't really like go in depth. And then when you have a guy like him that came on the show recently and said like, I scored 1,900 in high school and I scored 1,900 D1 playing in West Carolina. And nobody has not mentioned his name in the area. Like, yeah, so it's like you have to do way more research than usual. But I know one thing. I know who's up there at the top of the charts too, and it's not trying to be funny, it's raw thoughts. And that's Craig Dawson. I ended up looking at his stats. I said, wait a minute, who in the bird ain't saying his name?
It was fun. That was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah. Boy, I'm looking at them, I'm like, wait a minute. I said, oh boy. And one of my friends actually off the record raw thoughts, and that's why I do on my show, you know, anything sometimes very authentic. So one of my friends was like, man, Craig Dawson was the man. And he started pulling up your stats for him and asked. I was like, boom, 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 boom. And then you sent it to me after I did after me trying to do research, but eventually it happened. But I was like, whew. I said, man, this guy was cooking.
You don't think about it while you're in it, though.
Yeah.
You know, there was no conscious thought of any of that. Now, there were times where, like the night I broke Jerry's single game record, because I bet him in 8th grade that I would break every record that he had.
He said, yeah, right.
Yeah, he said, yeah, right. And when I did, I had to collect my money for sure. But, you know, that was just to kind of drive myself to try to be the best that I could be. But while you're in it, you don't really understand it. The cool thing about the whole Hall of Fame thing is my daughter being there, and she had no clue.
Oh, man.
I've never had a conversation with her about me playing basketball or any of that. And she was able to hear them reading all of the stuff. And afterwards, she was just kind of like, that was you? And I was like, yeah, that was me a long time ago. She was like, I didn't know. But it's pretty cool to kind of still be remembered, you know, especially in a place like that where basketball, again, is everything. You can think about Jerry coming through there. My Uncle Tony came through there. Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, Reggie Bullock.
Yeah, Charles Shackelford.
I forgot about it, yeah.
Like, there are a ton of people that have come through there, and to be the all-time leading scorer there in only 3 years of varsity is pretty cool.
So you ask yourself, like, even if you're not there regardless, and these colors here are kind of similar. So,
I know, I like that.
Yeah. So do you ever say, I need to keep up with Kinston? Who's the next best guy? Who's the next big thing to come out of Kinston, even if you're not there or not?
Yeah, once you're in it, you're in it.
Yeah.
I went to go watch them practice during the state tournament, boys and girls, matter of fact, and then watched both teams play in the second round. So you stay connected to it. One of my high school teammates is actually the head coach.
Oh, wow.
There. So Perry Tyndall has won, 4 state championships. I think he had 3 as an assistant coach there.
Yeah.
So he's done a tremendous job. But once you're a Viking, you're always a Viking. So
even though I keep up with a lot of high school sports in a way, but I tell you what, for me right now, and they probably say the same thing. I know it's other guys that can flat out play, but this Herring kid to me is a dog. Like, he can get after you, he's scrappy, he get to the rim. It's like he's in go mode all the time. Like, man, this kid got so. I'll tell some guys in Tarboro. Yes, I'm from Tarboro, y'all, but Tarboro's a football town. We already know that. But you know, so I was like, man, this Herring kid is something to deal with. They said, we don't know about this guy. I said, I'm telling you, I seen him on the AAU circuit. I seen him there, and I said, think about Kinston. They have hungry ball players, but this Herring kid has it. And I think he's a junior. I think he should be a senior.
He's about to be a senior now.
Yeah.
No, he's a good player, man. I think, you know, the thing that people question is what position does he play? Is he a point guard or shooting guard? But he's a basketball player. So he's very athletic. I think his jump shot's getting better. I hope he plays off 2 feet. Keyshawn, if you see this, please play off 2 feet more so you don't hurt yourself. But he is quick. He defends. You know, he plays with high intensity with a lot of passion. So he's definitely the next one to come through there, and be curious to see who's coming after.
With that being said, that was a raw thought moment right there.
Yes,
he broke down some coaching aspects to you. So look, you got to get ready for the like. He broke it down. Like, it came natural too. It was like the back of his wrist or something, man.
Oh, yeah,
he came and broke it down.
I can't watch any game anymore without having my kind of coaching hat on. It's annoying at times because I'd rather just watch and enjoy, but I'm always wondering, like, why are they doing what they're doing? And I wonder what practice looks like. Are they doing what they've been taught? And practice is just an instinct thing. So my mind's always churning when I'm watching hoops.
Man. With that being said, that's Craig Dawson here, new Ravenscroft head basketball coach, 14 years at Woodbury Forest High School in Virginia, Charlottesville.
Yeah, right outside of
Charlottesville. I want to make sure I said it right. Yeah, and raw thoughts. One thing about me, you know, we don't edit certain things. A mistake is a mistake, and I'm cool with it. With that being said, Craig, good luck to this season.
I appreciate it, man.
You got a coach over there. You got some kids in here, you know, they quiet. We got an amazing staff. I already know Miss Grace. I call her now. She's called Ravens Grace now. She probably don't say my name. Don't say my name. But she's here. But with that being said, Ryan Jones Senior Show, Raw Thoughts with Craig Dawson is out.